welcome. Thank you. Appreciate your time. Gonna just jump right into it. We've got a lot of people from the Jeep brand. This is an awesome event because of the representation that we have. There's a whole cadre of designers that are here. There's a whole cadre of our Jeep team. But with that, we're gonna jump in and have Mike say a few words and then we'll roll into design.
Thank you. Thanks, Scott, and good morning to everyone here. As Scott mentioned, my name is Mike Koval. I'm head of Jeep sales operations, and honestly, thank you all for being here. You know, Moab is a very, very special place. It's special to the Jeep brand, to our fans, to our enthusiasts, to our families, and to a lot of you. And Moab is our home away from home. We absolutely revere this town, this community, and this land. And it's also a playground. It's a playground for us that we believe can only be truly explored in a Jeep vehicle. But it's true that the Easter Jeep Safari has helped define who we are as a brand, from the ongoing development of our off-road vehicles to this incredible commitment and connection that we have with the community, and honestly with the thousands of Jeep 4x4 enthusiasts who gather here every year. One of the things that we're so grateful for is that this year we're back for the 59th year, our annual pilgrimage. But one of the things that I was asked about last night at dinner was, honestly, hey, is anything going on in the industry right now? Any sort of, so as I promptly distracted or pushed away any comments on tariffs, the answer is absolutely yes. In fact, the Jeep brand honestly is off to an incredible start in 2025. And the energy and life is back in Auburn Hills. We have fresh leadership. Our men and women are back in. You can feel the momentum. That flywheel is starting to turn again. So we're thrilled to be back from that perspective. This event touches every corner of our company, from brand to design to engineering to manufacturing to Mopar and after sales. And no other OEM could pull that off. Not like this. That's how much this event means to us. So again, I just want to say thank you all for being here. Be safe out there. Enjoy the ride. Actually enjoy driving these concept vehicles, which I think is pretty cool and pretty rare. And we'll be here to answer any questions. But now I'd like to turn it over, I guess, to our Vince and the Superstar PDO team to take you into detail a little bit more. So Vince, over to you, man.
Vince Galante, I'm the head of design for Jeep. I've got Chris Piscatelli with me. He's our design manager for Wrangler Gladiator and all of the kind of concepts. So we're going to ham and egg them a little bit here, give you guys a little bit of the background. We'll go through the first three, and then Mark Trossel and Matt Hilburn are here from our Mopar and JPP team, design team, and they'll take you through the rest. This event, not just for the Jeep brand, but also for the design team, has been really special. I really started with my predecessor, Mark Allen, and Scott Brown, who's here today, and Rick Payway. They came here and saw what a magical kind of environment it was for the Jeep brand, and we started bringing concepts, then all different types of things. So you'll see it, with the concepts here today, as we always do, we're trying new things, we're trying new colors, different fender styles, different bumper styles, different hoods, colors, interior fabrics, really subtle ones like this one. But we're trying to, it's kind of our user testing a little bit. So we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear from the people when we see them on the trails. And sometimes the stuff sticks. Sometimes we get really positive reaction, and we use that in the studio. So this is a really special place for us. I'll start with this one. This is we call the Rewind concept, and it started life as a two-door Rubicon X, 2025. And what Chris and I we were talking about is we've done a lot of retro builds, but we've never done like our version of retro. We're both 80s babies, so we wanted to throw as much of that in here as we could. So the basic concept was, back then the Jeeps were really pretty simple. So this one's been simplified a lot. Took the back seats out, doors are off, roof's off. And then we wanted to make it as loud as possible. So we've got this candy purple here, we call it Grimace. Looks great out in the sun. We did a custom paint job on it, some really wild kind of 80s, 90s graphics. And I think between the two of us, we either had the Lamborghini Countach or Diablo on our wall when we were kids. So we had to do kind of an homage to that phone dial wheel. Really, this one was all about creating a cool vibe that kind of meant something kind of special to us. So I don't know. This is like Chris in a nutshell, this car. So I'll let him kind of explain some of the details.
If you were to ask maybe my parents' generation what Jeep Freedom meant, it was like an MB, right? It was an early Willys or something of that effect. It was what you'd see in the opening credits of MASH, right? But for me and for Vinny and as my kids refer to me as someone who was born in the 1900s, which I died a little when they said that, but it was the Jeeps I knew in high school, which were, you know, YJs, TJs, and they were a little bit of less is more, right? And they just, what freedom meant to us as a generation was the keys to your first car. And so really we took that and ran with it as a simplified Jeep, no roof, no doors, no back seat, but you had to have the cooler and your boom box, right? And kind of the inspiration behind the colors and the trim was I wanted to feel like you went rolling through a Taco Bell ad in the early 90s, right? So, you know, it's really, it's that and a bunch more, right? So there's hidden details all over it. Depths of the internet trying to find the weirdest 80s stuff that I could find to throw at it. But yeah, it's really just, it's fun, right? It's not a crazy aggressive build as far as modifications, but it's hopefully, you know, it doesn't have to be because the shape of these cars is so iconic to begin with. That doesn't take much to kind of change it, but we really want to kind of play up all the 80s kitsch that we could. So hopefully you guys, you know, search through it. There's a Trapper Keeper in there with high school notes of the build.
If you're gonna drive it, you got to wear the fingerless gloves.
Yeah. So yeah, if in case you know, in case you got to get into a street fight, or if somebody throws a little, you know, cardboard down, you got to bust out a couple of windmills. They're here for you. Don't go without them. You know, safety first, people.
This is our second build. This one's a little bit of a heavier build, but the past several years we've tried some different concepts in the overlanding space. So we had the far out concept, we had the way out concept, and now this one's the bug out. And this started life as a four-door Wrangler Rubicon 4xe. So you'll notice that we took the rear doors off, and the reason being we want to first give this kind of a modern theme. So this one's not meant to be retro at all, and we wanted to, rather than, for overlanding, a lot of the temptation is to throw as much stuff on here as you possibly can. We wanted to do kind of a much more minimal version of that and kind of leave it to all of your guys and all of the people out here's imagination, like how might I use this myself? So there's lots of kind of grid systems and tie down loops and poles. We've got lights around the top of the roof that you can turn on if you want to turn it kind of into a tent in the back, I guess. But basically, you know, that was kind of the idea of this one. And from basically the back of that front door rearward is all 100% custom. So to get rid of the rear door, we wanted to give this, you know, the windshield's laid back just a little bit, and the roof extends all the way to the back. So if it's about the same length as a four-door Wrangler is today, if you were to take the back end and shift it all the way to the back of the spare tire. So that's how we gave some extra room on this one. And then maybe one last thing I'll point out is the KO3 tires. These are meant to be adaptable for all kinds of different terrains that you might be on when overlanding.
We always joke that, you know, overlanding is sometimes referred to as overloading, right? So if you see a rig with everything and the kitchen sink, we wanted to do kind of the opposite of that. And the inspiration behind the build was ultralight camping, right? Where you pack everything that you're gonna take with you in a bag, so weight management is key. The idea was that this was not so much a camper, but a camp site, right? Something that you could keep you out of the elements, so you have a big flat floor. There's D-rings to put a hammock inside of it so that you could, you know, that you could camp. But again, just leaving it open, more of a kind of a blank canvas with the idea of overlanding in mind. Also, we managed to get one of the e-scooters, which is kind of a cool thing that they're working on, or they might have actually just come out with it. But threw that bad boy in there, and the idea is that the auxiliary battery packs can power, you know, things like that. There's actually even a Jeep power source that plugs into the charging port and then supplies you with auxiliary power from the Jeep. So again, if you're powering accessories for your campsite, the idea is that you could kind of do it all from this. This one we wanted to be a little bit more conceptual, just to kind of see, you know, where that line is, what you guys feel about the silhouette of something, you know, like this with the kind of fixed roof. And so, like Vince mentioned, we're always listening, we're always trying new things, playing with new profiles, trying to understand what works, sometimes what doesn't work. But yeah, so that's kind of the idea behind this.
This one we call the Convoy. And this one started life as a Gladiator Mojave. And of course, this is another one of our heavier builds. The main difference here is we were looking at our history, and we have a real soft spot for like the 60s and 70s, kind of the J trucks of that era with this lean forward front ends. And we've done a few of these over the years, starting with the new Kaiser concept, which happens to be my personal favorite. But in this case, we wanted to try something a little bit new in the front. So we've done kind of the Rhino grill, that kind of classic style. We've done kind of the Gillette shaver in the front. But we haven't done a 7-slot grill, which we all kind of thought was kind of crazy. We never did a 7-slot grill on one of these. So that's mainly what we wanted to accomplish here, and just really give this thing a super tough personality. So I think we're all super proud of the history Jeep has with kind of the military and the armed forces. And so we wanted to kind of play that up. So I think, we've got kind of super kind of retro cool. We've got something modern. We wanted to do something that really kind of looked at our history there. So this one, again, new front end. We got 40-inch KM3 tires on this one. So again, you'll see these are super blocky, meant for rock crawling. And then as you work your way back, you'll see we've done some custom canvas doors, a canvas roof that goes all the way to the back. I keep getting asked if we lengthen the car. We have not. We've not lengthened this Jeep at all. It's just visually, it gives you a different perception of the space. And then again, the color palette on this one is very different than the others. This is a new color we're calling Ghost. It's not primer. We did actually spec the color, but we really think it turned out really, really awesome, especially in combination with the brown, like kind of chocolate brown canvas doors. We haven't done that before. We've done whites and tans and other colors, but we wanted to try that out. And then maybe the last thing I'll point out before I hand it over to Chris is on the interior, if you look inside and you open the doors, you'll notice this like super bright aqua. It's like, what are you guys doing? So we take a lot of inspiration from some of the fighter jets, military planes. It's kind of a designer thing. And we noticed that a lot of these things, they do like this super high contrast interiors, and it's meant to help you focus on the instrumentation, on the gauges and the things that you're using while you're off-roading. So anything you're not supposed to see when you're kind of off-roading kind of disappears. So we're out here, we'll see if that works. But that was kind of, if you're wondering why we decided to put aqua in the interior, that's kind of why. Chris, I don't know if you...
Yeah, I think you summed this one up beautifully. It's really an ode to some of our military heritage. We love the J trucks. We love this nose in particular. Has always been a fan favorite out here, and within the design studio, it's never far from anybody's mind. And so to be able to put a J truck nose on a J truck is kind of something that we love doing, right? So, but the 7-slot grill was a big thing because again, we have razors and the Rhino grill, the Booby grill, all those ones that were kind of predated, and even the Macho grill somehow starts to get to this, but never a 7-slotter. So to do this was kind of a new take on kind of an old favorite, kind of a best of, if you will. And then just, giving the whole truck kind of a butch feel. We knocked the headrests off because that's what I do on everything I can. The dark brown, like the distressed leather chocolate seats, the chocolate brown top. Again, just kind of playing with what we think, it's inspired by an old MB picture that we found that had some really cool color waves on it, but we took it kind of a step further, and I think it really works well. It's not something, if you told me 6 months ago, like, oh, we should put chocolate and primer together. It's like, I don't know. Oh, but put teal in it too, and that'll even it out. But I think it works. And so, it's just, it's fun. It's a little more serious, but definitely kind of an ode to our military roots. But I'm going to hand it off to Mark, and he's going to take you through some of our Mopar concepts.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Chris. So I'm Mark Trossel. I'm Vice President of Design for Ram Truck, and my other job is to lead the team on Mopar and Jeep Performance parts. And what I love about that is I'm a gearhead, but so being a part of the Mopar and Jeep Performance piece lets me, play with other brands besides the Ram brand as well. And this is a great place to come out and be inspired to create new products and accessories for our customers and see the creativity. I really love that in town. The things that people do on their own in their garages, it's awesome and it's inspiring to us. And that's what led us to this vehicle here. And some of you may recall a few years ago we had a Gladiator, that we called the Decoder. And everything was painted in a red and it had a QR code on it. It went over really well because what this allows us to do and what we've done this year with what we call the blueprint, everything you see in Mopar Blue, is a Jeep Performance part or Mopar accessory that we offer to our customers. So we really wanted to showcase that because we all know not everyone has the mechanical skills to, cut, weld, things like that on their vehicles, but all of this can be bolted onto their vehicle in their garage. And we've also affixed a QR code on it. And I know personally, you know, I buy things on emotion a lot of times, and what a great way for customers to walk up and say, I want this bumper, and they can use their smartphone, takes them right to the Mopar e-site, and they can research it and purchase it right then and there. So it's a good way, you know, again, to connect with our customer on it as well. We have almost 40 parts and accessories that are blue on this vehicle here. We've actually, you'll notice, 2 different wheels on either side. We have our tube doors, and then tube doors on the passenger side with the netting that goes on it as well. Graphics, these are actually all part numbers that you see listed, but if you use the QR code, it'll take you to the graphics that we have available on it as well. Same with the cat skin seats too. So just a great way, again, to really, you know, connect with our customer, let them, you know, customize their vehicle. The Wrangler and Gladiator are 2 of the most accessorized and customized vehicles before they even leave our dealership. So it's a great way for us to showcase those things. The Sunchaser vehicle. So where this vehicle here is, everything is something that can be purchased. We have a lot of those things on what we call the Sunchaser, but on this vehicle we also create some unique concepts too. And it's a great way for us to get feedback from customers and try some things out that we've been thinking about in the design studio. So I'm going to turn that over to Matt Hilburn, who is the design manager for our team.
Hey everyone, like Mark said, this build is a good opportunity to showcase some of the unique concepts that we have in contrast to the production ones. So this concept was very much designed for our consumers, how we can make their day, night, weekend on the trails as easy as possible. So kind of high level, we call this color Solar Flash. We have a 2-tone satin black graphics there, a 2-inch JPP lift, 37-inch mud terrain tires. And some of these parts are kind of modified from the ones that we already sell. So starting at the front, you can see this is our Mopar winch card, but we tried to add a little bit more to it with these down tubes, so you get a little bit more bumper, winch, fairlead protection. These flat flares are the flat flares that we do have for sale on Blueprint, and the DRLs by design are removable for off-road use. But we've modified them a little further with these cool vented bezels here. And if any of you remember from SEMA, we debuted the Mopar Illuminate light bar concept. So this is new for Easter Jeep. We've modified this one to work with a 4xe. But use case on this, you know, you get great forward lighting, but if you're setting up for like a campsite or something and you need side lighting or rear lighting, pull down on this, the light can swivel all the way around. It can tilt up and down. So if you're setting up a campsite, you know, you're over here somewhere, you know, you can illuminate all that. You don't have any troubles. And it's just one use case that we have that's, I think, pretty useful for most consumers. We also have our JPP heavy duty rock rails. And another unique thing that we have on this concept wise is, you know, if you're loading up your family, your friends, your buddies, you're going out on a trail for a weekend, and a Wrangler space can be somewhat challenging. So to kind of help alleviate some of the interior space, we've created these new Jeep side storage boxes, integrated molly panels. We've got some bags, some netting here. Get about at the deepest point, about a foot deep there, but it doesn't encroach in any of the interior storage. So all of your interior space remains.
Last 2 vehicles here are 2 of our more popular vehicles that we've done in the past, both Honcho that we've named affectionately. This one you may remember from last year, we called this High Top. Matt will actually take you through quite a bit of the things we've done to it. But as Vince and Chris were talking about, you know, 80s and 90s, we went back a little bit further in time to the 70s, late 70s, early 80s with this theme here. And it's something that we wanted to do to really show, again, as I talked about on Blueprint, you know, offering things to our customers to let them customize their vehicle. The you know, nostalgic or retro Honcho theme, the colors, I mean, it really pops. And actually this graphic package is going to be available through our Mopar affiliate store this summer as well. So it's super exciting, and everyone has been seeing it, just falls in love with it. I think this is one of my favorite ones we've done. Just simple graphics that are really impactful. And then the same with our Honcho over here as well, doing, again, some nostalgic graphics. But I'm going to let Matt take you through some of the details on it.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark. So yeah, obviously the graphics on both of these dramatically change the personality of the vehicle. But graphics aside, some of the other details, we have an AEV front bumper, worn winch, modified front low hoop so we don't block the camera. These are our concept version for JT, but these are based off the steel flares we have for JL. We have an AccuAir adjustable air suspension on this, 40-inch all-terrain tires with Detroit steel wheels. We have our half doors, rock slide power steps. This vehicle has Dana 60 axles front and rear with 538 gears. Paired with the hard top and the roll bar in the back, it's just a really cool look with the half doors. It's nice and open, and the flat flares. It's just a great looking build. But the roll bar doesn't go into the bed at all, so we still have a deck system in the bed. It's a drawer system to carry all your gear. It's lockable. So you still have full use of the bed even with the roll bar. We have awesome two-tone tan and black seats, our Mopar IP accessory rail, so you can mount your GoPro, your phones, all of that. And for J6, this one actually started out as a four-door Wrangler. So we have the same wheelbase as a four-door. It has a modified cabin bed, so this is a 6-foot bed in contrast to the 5-foot bed on the production Gladiator. We have the same concept flat flares from High Top on this one. In-bed roll bar, bed-mounted spare. We've done a radio delete in this one, so you got a nice smooth dash panel, so it's just you and the trail. No distractions, some unique rock rails. And we have our JPP triple hoop on the front bumper.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Thanks everybody.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Gone Jeepin'.